hello, hello, hello. I am excited today, and I'll show you why. Here. This is exciting. Look at the surface of this thing. Oh my God. Look at that. Death Valley with a mud layer over it. This is amazing. So I love the way this looks just like this by itself. Just like that. This is just awesome. And that's why I need to captivate this on camera before I paint over it. This is amazing. An amazing transformation that this thing has undergone. This is amazing, 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 amazing. So I'm going to lean the tablet over here. I'm going to paint. I'm going to give this another layer now of paint. But what I want to do first is I want to take this pink because that looks so good together, and I'm going to paint hearts all over this thing, and the eyes are gonna have to be painted as well later on. So I am excited. I'm so excited. Just got up. I saw this. I thought, before I do anything else, I'm going to paint hearts on this because this is all about love. This is awesome. And I noticed, I should not have erased the video. I should have moved the video. That's what I should have done. I'm going to do that from now on. Because I noticed that when I review my own videos at night before I go to sleep, I actually fall asleep while I'm listening to my own soothing videos. And I'm very excited about this. If it makes me calm, then it might make other people calm too. That's very cool. I know that not all of my videos are calm. Some of them are kind of political and a bit angry. But, you know, we are where we are when we feel certain emotions. You know, we shouldn't suppress it. And critical things need to be discussed. I am right now practicing discussing these critical things without any upset agitation. So trying to, and that's always the best state to be in, is to be in a meditative, calm, clear-minded state and look at the things from a calm position. And and then you can look at things better from above. So better than being in a heated argument or being in the midst of all of this emotional stuff. So to get a distance, we need meditation. That's very important. And the play of materials and colors is the best thing for our brains. It's really wonderful. Hmm. The blue jays or the stiller jays are making very sweet sounds. They're always very funny. They have a lot of humor. And they have a lot of energy. I hope you're doing well, Milka. I was a little worried last night. I didn't see your comments. I didn't see a message from you. So I'm gonna be checking next. Get yourself some bentonite clay and some Play-Doh. And both of those things will help you feel better. Never underestimate the power of art and natural healing modalities. Right? A dog, come to me. This is kind of exciting, actually, the way it cracks on the surface. It makes it look really interesting, like something that came out of nature. It's really interesting looking. those people have always had modern art in their lives, they are the happiest, and they live a long life with a lot of happiness, and they also stay together as a couple. I know those people. I know many of them in Germany. They grow old together and die together in love and art. And those are my role models. That's really fantastic. I'm still not sure if I can do this. I don't know if I can get old. Well, I mean, I don't know if I would want to. My inner voice says it wants to become very old and help a lot of people, help the world, help the people, and then by helping the people, we help all living beings. Yeah, that's what my inner voice says. And the scared child, or the scared, hurt living being inside that has never been touched enough, never been loved enough. That thing is afraid. That thing says, oh, it's gonna get really rough when I'm getting even older. Oh, the fear of loneliness, of rejection, the fear of being ignored and discarded by society. Society that's only interested in young people. So the inner child is afraid of that. And the therapist in me, the over-consciousness, says, yeah, but all of those people that are caught up in vanity, they are suffering. So that's where I come in, and I need to help. We need to help. I'm not putting myself on a pedestal. I'm not saying that I have the key to all of this. No, we do it together. I'm not always perfect with everyone. I get triggered too. We do it together. We help together. I just want to encourage myself, motivate myself, look at everything that motivates me, and then I want to motivate other people as well. I believe that we can do it. I strongly believe that we can help other people become motivated and help them heal, and so that they can help other people heal. I strongly believe that. This is so gorgeous. Oh, this is gorgeous. I'm so excited about this. This is so exciting. When I was a child, first thing I did when I got up is I ran over to my art paraphernalia and my wobble ghost making thing that I had. I had an oven that was baking glowing skeletons that glow in the dark. And I couldn't wait to get back on that and create more glowing skeletons. And when I went to Annalise, I did a therapy program for 2 years based on psychoanalytical approach, and my therapist Annalise Pester, she was doing a play therapy with me for 2 years, twice a week. And I could not wait to go back to her play therapy. I would count the days like Robinson Crusoe. Like, when can I come back? And then each time I came to see her, I brought her glowing skeletons. And I said, look, I baked you some glowing skeletons. As if she wanted those. And she was always very touched, and she wrote a book about this and captured every important moment in that therapy. Brilliant book. I highly recommend that to people. I don't get any royalties for that. That goes to her stepchildren. But I think now after her death, she died about a little over a year ago from a very old age. She had an interesting life. So now after her death, I'm gonna take my book again that I was working on, which is another translation of her Betty book from German into English. There was one, okay. Her stepdaughter had translated it in the 70s. But I am not happy with that book at all. And it was only in print one time. They didn't give this another edition. And so I decided I want to see a good translation of that book. That the book deserves a good translation. But after the first third of translating the book, which I put 1,000% into, I just could not continue. I put it aside. Yeah, I put it on Blogger, the first third. So to protect it, to preserve it for later. I was changing so many accounts all the time, and so much stuff happened. In the meantime, on the internet also got hacked into, and so I felt like the book is safest on Blogger. And I'll take it up again, and I will continue with the translation very soon. I think I'm ready for it now. It was very disturbing for me to translate the book. I thought it was gonna be easy, but a lot of emotions came up, and it was quite disturbing. But I can do it now. So I have made total peace with my mother. Total peace. Total, baby. Okay, there's no more accusation, there's no more struggle with her. Okay, I am here now for her. I'm psychologically there. I'm psychologically ready to help to be there for her on an energetic level. I can't talk to her alone, because when I talk to her alone, she can become mean very easily. And that's heartbreaking for me. I don't want that to happen again. So I talk to her through when my brother and my dad are there as well. So then she is her meek self. She has two sides, my mother. It's almost a little bit on the order of dissociative personality disorder. Not quite like this, not like where she becomes two distinct separate characters, but it's very close. It gets very close. There's something very, very, very mean, a mean entity. Let's put that way. A mean character, I put that way. A very mean character comes out to the surface when she gets triggered, when her ego gets triggered. And I trigger her ego very, very easily. It happens very easily. As a child also. That's why I had to go to a therapist in the first place. And she told my therapist, Nikki doesn't trust anyone. Good luck. And after the first session with Annalise, I was like, when can I come back? When can I come back tomorrow? When, please? When? How many days until I can come back? That's like, okay. I trusted her. Yes, I did. 100%. I called her my play helper. My good fairy, I called her. And I made peace with Annalise too. No. Annalise got triggered by me too later on, not as a child. That happens. I'm an ego triggerer. I'm huge with this. I really know how to aggravate egos. Yeah, Annalise had an ego too. She was not a god. She's a light worker soul, like my husband. My mother is a stagnator soul. See, still in the beginning of her soul learning journey. Those are the ones that those are the ones that have it the hardest, my gosh. Those are always the ones that are super adapted to society. Those are the ones that have to lean on an authority because they feel like without leaning on the authority, they'll fall. That they don't know where they will fall into. Feel very helpless also. So I made peace with it. I understand. I see the whole picture now. Those are not ready for having children, and that's the majority of humanity. Annalise never had kids. I think she wanted to, but a lot of people that are from another generation, from 3 generations back, they had in the, the people that were born in the 20s, or even the people born in the 40s, the last 2 generations, they had some when they had infections, they didn't have very good antibiotics at that time. And so a lot of those women, I know some, I know 3 women right off the bat right now who fall into that category, who wanted kids but couldn't have kids because they had an inflammation at the fallopian tube, and it created scar tissue inside, so they couldn't conceive. I see that as a present from the infinite, that some people could not conceive. It's a present. It prevented a whole lot of suffering. So they should be very grateful, but I guess they were probably not. The ego is not happy with that. Never do. No. The ego is attached to the entire proliferation mechanism. The ego always wants to proliferate itself. It's like me, my genes. So thank goodness I didn't have that going. Thank goodness I was more humble in that and put the other living being before myself. I could feel it. I could feel the ego rumbling. I could feel my body in that need. Our biological bodies, they are in a need. They have a strong need to proliferate, not just the act itself, but this need to make it, to pull it through with this entire thing, and there's a strong need in there. But I said to that need, no, not in this lifetime, sorry, I know better. I am not well enough psychologically to be perfect, and don't have the cash either. So I believe that, and that's where I differ with the antinatalists. I consider myself an antinatalist. I do. I mean, I have all the points, of course, but there's one thing that I differ a little bit, and that is that if the circumstances are super, really, really super, then it can be a very joyful thing for the new being. Okay. And I also love certain dog breeds, and I feel bad that I I feel bad that I have that need for certain dog breeds, because then, that need alone makes it that I don't just take any dog from a shelter. So I feel bad about this. I feel like I should take any dog to the shelter. Everyone is equally precious. They all deserve a loving home. But for me, and we saw one, but she got adopted out. I was so glad. Pray to my blue card for her. A boxer, pit bull sort of mix, albino girl. My husband wanted to take her, and I said she's not for us. I can feel it energetically. I could feel energetically that there was someone else waiting for us, and that was Dave. Before I found him, I could feel it energetically. That was a very strange thing when that happened. Before I found Dave, I was always talking about Margaret, the basset hound Margaret. I said Margaret is going to come into our life because Margaret is the reincarnation of Dolores Cannon, and she's going to come into our life. And I've been looking at Gretchen Hoy's new litters that her dogs had, and there was Margaret among them. There was Dolores Cannon. I recognized her. I recognized her energetically. I know a lot of people are probably going to turn the video off now at this point. It's okay. Don't worry about it. But it's very off. It's very out there. I admit that. I freely admit that. So, but yeah, I don't expect people to to accept what I'm saying in my videos when I talk about soul journeys. But this is what I feel. That's what I'm feeling. This is very strong, and the scientist in me is also very shocked and baffled about it. But this is what I have a real strong sense of that. Very strong, just as strong as I have the sense of art, So I could feel it. I could feel that was Dolores Cannon, and I felt that she's going to come into our life. But not yet. Okay, she was just born, and we adopt them when they are older. So we get them when no one wants them, or when someone died, or when they need a caring home. So that's when we come in, and so it's not going to be for a while until Dolores Cannon will come to us, I guess. It's kind of sad for me, so I would want to adopt her now to protect her from anything that could, where she could suffer. So my mind was on Dolores Cannon, and a strange thing happened. I was listening to David Foster Wallace. Every night I was listening to David Foster Wallace, and I have this real strong soul connection to David Foster Wallace, the writer David Foster Wallace, who committed suicide in 2008. Papa Dog was born in 2009, and I didn't know about Papa Dog. I hadn't seen his photo yet. We were just getting slowly, after Kenny died, we were getting slowly ready to adopt another dog. And I was only thinking about Dolores Cannon. I was going through my mind, but she wasn't ready to come to us yet. So at night, I was in my bed listening to David Foster Wallace while I was falling asleep. And suddenly there was the energy of David Foster Wallace standing in my doorway. Not a ghost. No, he doesn't want to scare me ever. He would never do this. But the energy of him, a very powerful presence, very powerful. And it felt like he was standing there as the writer, David Foster Wallace, tall and strong and masculine and all of this, and good looking. And this energy was there of him. And I was like, wow, that is amazing. What's happening? What's going on? And then not long after that, I found Dave's photo on Google. And the more I looked at the photo, the more I felt this real powerful connection. And then it came to me, my God, yes, that's him. That's David Foster Wallace. He's cute. And when we picked Dave up, he already saw me. He saw me through the window of the van. He had this knowing look on his face. And it was like I'm meeting a very old friend again. There he is. The energy. I saw it in his eyes. There was such intelligence, you know, when I looked at him we were driving up to the parking lot, and they were there with him and his two sisters on leashes, and he saw me right away through the window. And when I got out, it was like a reunion of an old soul connection. It was this thing where it was almost not like as if we had just recently seen us. It was like, okay, let's go, you know, this type of energy. And so we gave them the check and for the donation or for the, you know, the adoption fee. It was $250, and we put our collar on, got our own leash, and I walked him a little bit, and he just wanted to go. He just wanted to get into into the van right away. First he thought that some other car was our car, and he moved directly towards that car, wanted to get in. I said, no, that's not our car. You have to go to the van. So then I walked him to the van, and he was like, okay, let's get in the van. I opened the van door, and he jumped with his paws on it and just wanted to get in real quickly and said, okay, I'm ready to go. without any problems at all. That was the sweetest thing. So I got him into the van. He sat there with me together in the van door, and we were still talking to Kyla, one of the adoptive mothers. She and her mother are the foster mothers. And I was the new adoptive mother. And He was sitting there next to me as if we had always known each other. The oldest friends there are. The most normal thing in the world. Yeah, there she is. There, my old friend. Yeah, we have known each other, and that's why he showed himself like this to me in the doorway. It was amazing. His powerful presence. He's a powerful guy. I always say that to him. It's amazing. There are even photos of David Foster Wallace, the writer. The way he sits there reminds me so much of the way Papa Dog sits on the couch with big arms and shoulders. David Foster Wallace is my soul baby from another lifetime. Over 2,000 years ago, 3,000 years ago, maybe 5,000 years ago. And his name was Rahula in India. And my name was Yasodhara. When you tap into that other dimension, you see things that you would otherwise never see or notice. I remember my mother said to me, "You're not even of this world anymore." I said, "Yes, that's probably true." No, I'm still of this world. I live in both worlds. You can live in both worlds. This world here is not the only dimension. There's many, infinitely more dimensions. It just keeps on going. What matters is, that's what Ben Goertzel wrote in his book, A Cosmist Manifesto. What matters is that we practice good things, we do good, and we make the world a better place for all living beings. And when that happens, then the infinite cosmos will rejoice with everything in a powerful happiness and joy. And so that's what we're aiming at, that will happen. This powerful rejoicing. Happiness of all existence. Total happiness. And then antinatalism and all of this is going to fall away, because then it's no longer unhappy. Then things are really flowing with total joy. We're antinatalists. At least I am an antinatalist because I care, and my friends do too. So most antinatalists I know, they are antinatalists because they care, they have compassion. They don't want beings to suffer. Okay. The world is in a state of shock and unhappiness. The world we live in. It is not a happy world to put someone in. Not at this point. Okay. But we can make it happy. Together we can make it happy. We can make it happy and beautiful. And then things flow naturally. Then things proliferate naturally. Without any force of anything, without resistance, and without stopping anything, and without enforcing anything or moving anything in any direction with any kind of deliberation or intent or whatever. But it will just be flowing then, in a state of flow. That's how proliferation should be. That's the real state of proliferation of any sort. It's the state of flow in happiness, in a happy world. But only when the I is no longer important. People put more people into the world because of the I. Because of the me, my genes. And they make this into a sick, resistant mental state even. Women that are taking fertility drugs and all of this. Because of this me, I want my proliferation. And if it doesn't happen because the body is as acidic and toxic, then they go and take fertility drugs and force a living being to exist in that acidic body. Yeah, that's what they do. And that's what the ego does. That's a very sick state to be in. I want to bring awareness to this. I think it's very, very important to bring awareness to that. Love is proliferation, is art, is flow, not resistance, not fertility drugs, not pharmaceutical drugs. Love is nature, earth clays, flow, natural healing, supporting systems, supporting cells. That's love. If you support your cells, you love your cells. You support your cells by putting natural things into them. Natural clays. Heal with nature. Make yourself well. That's what we want. That's what we're aiming towards. Okay? So let's make the world better together. Okay? All of us. Take care. Bye.